So who is Felicia, and how did you get into Sanaa kama Biashara?
And so Felicia, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter.
Yes.
Anyway, professionally, I'm a lawyer, I'm an advocate. I have more than 10 years,
wow.
what we call PQE, post-qualification experience. This is from when you are admitted to the bar. The other years don't count until the CJ adds you to the role of advocate. So I have about 10 years. And I worked for other people, and then now I'm working for myself. So MMS is my own farm. I own it with another gentleman called Alan Mzungu. Yeah, so we've been there for about 5 years, which, also is part of those things you celebrate in your heart. So we had an office in Nairobi, and then here in Mombasa, which we opened. So my husband was transferred here, and we followed him. So that's how I came, just to keep the family together.
Yeah.
And anyway, we have small children. I was like, we are going to do this together.
Yes.
Yes. So we came, and then just working here, just relearning. I'm actually born in Mombasa, raised in Kilifi. Then I went to Nairobi for a long time. So I was coming back just, like back home. But, then you realize actually,
yes,
I have not been here for years.
So you feel so...
It was almost like I had to now relearn, reconnect with people and know what's happening around, what's good, etc. So for me...
karibu nyumbani kwanza.
Nimekuwa sasa. Mwaka wa 3
nishazoea.
Anyway, nilikumbuka
at some point. The visitor. Bilal anashangaa tu anasema nini.
Uko sawa. Ni vizuri sana kukaribisha mtu yoyote.
Kweli. But sasa one day I went for a trip to Lisbon. And it was a Euro. We went with a class from Strathmore. Yeah. I was doing an MBA there. So they have an international module. Tukaenda na tukasema we are going to go for a Euro tour.
Yes.
While there, you just realize everything here is packaged. They're actually just showing us their old building. And the most interesting part of that tour is the tour guide. If you get a bad storyteller, these buildings, the stories don't come alive. This building will just be an old building. Yes. You wonder why have I paid so much money to be here.
Yes.
So then I thought about, when I came back, there you're just filling out, you're going to places, your family nini waenda, just trying to reconnect. Then una watu wengi unaona, by the way, there's a gift here. In my view, Coastarians have a gift for... There's a lot of creativity. I think if there's an endowment in the coast, it's arts, the arts, people like beautiful things. People tell stories, story tu ya kawaida tu hapa. Vile hiyo story utaambiwa. Paka soundtracks nini kanguka do. Mwenye nashtuka. So, you just think, then, you connect what you saw. You're like, by there, that is all packaging. It's storytelling over there.
Yes.
Here, the same, we could actually do this. But most people don't think about it as a gift. Mtu labda atasema shairi zuri, ukimwambia atasema. Mko nyumbani tu story, they'll tell you, I wrote something. Anasema ile shairi zake zuri. But other than that, atakwambia hata sina kazi, niko nyumbani.
Yes.
Nitumie sijui nini. Sijui na anafanya. Hata hapo nyumbani kukiwa na mazishi ataitwa, ataenda ataimba. Alafu apewe labda meals. Package. So ambayo hiyo ingekuwa imempa kazi. Yani mtu aketi tu afikirie, okay, actually mazishi ngapi in a month naenda.
Yes.
I have 3 performances.
You make funerals your business.
Yes.
I mean, it's
or
not a
weddings,
good thing, but or weddings,
zile traditional malozi, uko kwa malozi, uko nini. Wajua ile ni just ufikirie, okay, I do, if I think about it, I have like 6 gigs in a month. That could actually employ you. Or it could give you something to do, or some capital then to do something else that you're doing. So even just that. So in the discussion, we were like, okay, we should do something. Here, the initial idea was to promote the farm, MMS. So like, okay, we need to be known around Mombasa. What can we do? So, you're like, let's land on something that truly matters to the people. the people in the coastal region. So, because of all that, we were like, okay. And also, I have extensive IP experience. So I have the legal skill that's needed for this industry. So it was like an easy start.
So that's how
it seemed simple at the time. So
it did
at the time.
So that was the birth of Sanaa kama Biashara.
Yes. So it started in MMS as a corporate social responsibility. We did that for 1 year. The reception on the market was really good. It's like there's truly a need. So now we spinned it off so that, law firms are highly restricted on what they can do, who they can work with, etc. So now it's a company sitting by itself. It has its own team.
Yes.
And I'm just the director now there.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it has
good
its
job.
own team. It's running its own programs.
Good job, Felicia. Honestly, you've
you.
started your law firm 5 years in. And then now there's Sanaa kama Biashara as well. You're the director. You have a team of people that you're working with.
Yes.
Oh my,
Can
good job.
probably say so. Yes.
Now, I want us to make this practical. You've said you deal with artists.
Yes.
In the studio right now, we have artists. I want you to pick one case study or two. I have a DJ over there. I have Bilal. He is a musician. I have Kevin. He's a photographer.
Okay.
Myself, I'm an MC. Okay. Emmanuel, what are you good at?
A storyteller.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes. So I want us to pick one person. And then, or even two, and tell us how an artist, a creative, can package themselves and what the things that we are missing, why we're not getting paid or what, just break it down. What do you do?
Okay, so I pick what? Let me pick DJs. That one is working. So let me pick something that maybe has not been explored a lot. So like the storyteller, Emmanuel. So Emmanuel is a storyteller. Just telling stories that are nice is really not a business, but you get invited to a lot of things. Now you're on radio, so you have been invited to many things. So if you think about when people call me, where do they invite me to now speak? Are they, like, which parts are you now called? Say, my Emmanuel, hi. So you identify, it's almost like identify your market in a way, or at least your initial market. So you have to think, when I'm called, what wakinipigia nifanye kitu ni nini? Then ufikiri, okay, what is that thing? So now you have like a market. If you're called for, say, back to your alumni, shule, high school, every time you're being called, you're speaking to teenagers. Then okay, maybe these are the people who like what I say. Who pays for those services? Is it the kids or is it the school? Then now you have your customers in mind. Then you see what exactly can I sell to them. So it can be many things. It could be something that you're passionate about. Say, for example, maybe fighting against drugs. So now, because you're a storyteller, kuna ile uweza enda upatie tu watu boring facts about drugs, or you could decide I'm going to start doing very cool stories for these children, but they're teenagers. Their attention span is maybe 2 minutes, then they zone off, 2 minutes zone off. They might be more visual. So you think about your whole package. What will I be talking about? Who is my target? Then once you know these are my customers, probably to get to them, you need to get to their parents or their teachers or, I don't know, church pastors, the equivalent of mosques, etc., whoever it is who's in charge of those people. So you have the target, the money is being paid by these ones. My target is these people. These ones are the ones who will tell the ones above, bring that guy. We like this person. So now when you have to have content that appeals to those teenagers, but you have to present yourself in a way that the adults or their guardians are comfortable with you. They will give you custody over their children and they will pay you money for it. So again,
Okay.
it means number one, uwezi kuwa sasa on your socials kuna posters hapo umekunywa the rave, you're looking funny and clean,
Yes.
you have bad language, I don't know what. You have to be, now you're thinking about, okay, how am I presenting myself
Yes.
to now the people who can actually pay me? So you have to have, now you'll know, I probably need a clean look, but I need to look young but still trustworthy, because
Yes.
now the adults who are responsible for the children
Mm.
are looking at me to see whether they can trust me with their kids. So now you're also now developing how you appear, right?
Now that
The
your
kind of-
image, even
the
on social
image,
media.
yes, and it
Okay.
doesn't have to be a lot of money. Most
Yeah.
likely you just have to look clean, use clean language, follow people who are, related to what you're doing, and then also now post content, like snippets of what you actually do,
Yes.
so that your audiences can also follow you. You look like you have influence, or you have
Yes.
audiences that are willing to listen to you. And then after that, of course, for stories, most times you'll come here, you'll do a story, you let people record you, probably because you don't, most times you don't really think about it. Someone will come, they'll record you, they'll go and post you on their channels. That's your IP. When you're telling it, that's you. If you allow everyone to start recording the entire bit, umekuja umefanya kitu, mtu amekurecord na simu yake pale, amepost kwa YouTube channel yake. If that channel, people start subscribing to it, or wherever it is, people start subscribing to it, they're the ones who will be earning your money, not you. So you need to also think about what is the value of now this thing. So now it's a product. Related to that, you need to now start having a price. Know the costs of you doing an event, right? Including how much will it take you from home to there. Most times, which I find mostly from the cohorts that we have trained, most people don't really factor like transport. How will you get there? What will you eat? etc. So when they're quoting ataambiwa, okay, atasema yani ile ambayo amefikiria, atasema okay 5,000.
Yes.
Alafu mtu anaambia nitakupa 1,000. Then anaketi anafikiria but heri hiyo 1,000. But sasa hiyo sijui waishi wapi huko, and you need costumes.
Yes.
So the cost in the end, you haven't made anything. In fact, you had to borrow. Sasa hata umeingia kwenye deni. So ili at the very least know the cost of you actually showing up and delivering whatever it is, and then now you add a premium, or you add now the rate, which would be now your earnings. At least whatever you charge, and the price that you give should not be lower than the costs. At least once you break even.
Yes.
Even if you won't earn anything, but at least they cover how you got there, your welfare, how you ate. If you need costumes, price them in, etc. So those are the some of those basics as well now in terms of packaging.
Yes.
Now you've thought about your product, you've thought of your market, and now how you package yourself as a business. So Illipot is running a program pale Talent to Income.
Yes.
I think one of the things that they're insisting in that program is you must register a business name. The rationale for it, because we are doing the legal aspects of it. So in those trainings, Sanaa kama Biashara trains the legal aspects and just what's it called, registration of those business names. So we take them through. The rationale for it is for you to also begin separating yourself as a person, as Emmanuel, and your business, whatever it is. So at least if you have a business name, ile ina jina lingine, wewe uko na jina lingine. So anyway, Safaricom will give you a till number for the business, and with just a business name.
Yes.
So unaanza kuseparate. So hata zile costs, even if you lose all of it, when you're telling someone lipa, wamtumia till number, pesa zenda kule, then you can withdraw, ujitumie. But at least now, you start keeping records, because most times
at least unajua hii biashara yangu what am I making out of it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. You've spoken about intellectual property.
Yes.
And that is something that we do not know. So for artists, for creatives, what is intellectual property, and also how can one protect this?
Yes. So intellectual property is the definition is creations of the mind. Most
Yes.
creative things, it's something that is perceived. It's not like si tomato unanunua unaenda nayo. It's something that is perceived. Even
Yes.
if it's you're buying a painting, that board and the canvas and the paints in there is not it. What you're buying is actually what you feel when you
Yes.
look at that painting. So it's mostly
The emotion it evokes.
yes. And so what and you know it's a valuable thing. So the law that recognizes this as an asset, as a valuable asset, is now the different IP laws that we have, which is copyright, the Copyright Act, there's the Trademarks Act, and then there's an Industrial Properties Act, and also a Traditional Knowledge Act, which nobody ever, it hasn't been implemented, but it's something that would be extremely relevant for our African, society and the cultural,
Traditional knowledge.
the traditional knowledge and the traditional, ways and things that should be preserved. But anyway, so the IP law is the law that gives it like the asset value. It makes it a thing that is valuable, that can be sold, and all that. So for creatives, for you to truly commercialize your talent, you have to ensure that it is recognized, rather that you sit it within the law. Although for copyright is generated automatically. The minute you put it in a tangible thing, copyright is generated over it, but nobody will know. And so if somebody else goes and does something independent, hata hakujui, lakini aende akatengeze something similar, and maybe then they even register it, they will also have copyright over theirs, you will have copyright over yours. If someone now worse, they copy you and they go and do it, they register, you'll be at a hard place kusema hii ni idea yangu, ni mimi nilianza hii, nilitengeza yangu ndo hii, if you didn't register. So I feel like now the reason you should register your copyright, even though you have it the minute you create, is so that first what it does to your mind, you know that is this song or this poem or this beat that I created or whatever it is.
Yes.
So it helps you. And then now you find, if you want to deal now with corporates, so again, you have to grow your business. Think scale. Grow it into a sustainable business. When now you're going to deal with bigger customers, they want to see. Like you'll see some of them are telling you, send also copies of the certificate for this. And the good news is right now for Kenya Copyright Board, registration is free right now, and it's online, so you can do it from your phone, from your computer, from a cyber, from wherever wachukua tu. It's free, completely free at the moment. How bado hawaja migrate, but trademarks you still have, you pay, but it's also not a lot, but there you're protecting your brand. So again, to just it's part of really packaging the product, giving it the significance that it has, so that even for you now when you're selling it, even you know I'm selling something worth my time, then you can spend time improving the quality of your product. You can know how to price your product, and you know how to also it gives you a voice. If somebody is copying or infringing on your product, at least you have a base to start. Utakimbia useme this is mine, you can file a case in court, and the evidence is right there.
Okay. So we are speaking to Felicia Solomon Tunje. She is a partner at MMS Advocates, and she's also the director, Sanaa Biashara. We are learning. You are a young person, you're listening and you're wondering, why am I getting paid less for my gift? You're an MC, and I've had a lot of stories. You're an artist. Unaita perform for free. We're giving you a platform. Kuja ujiuze. I want you to tell me about that when we get back. To what extent should we use a platform to market ourselves? Alafu sasa tufike ile point tunasema now I'm charging for my services. What does one do? Or we have this tendency of we're giving you a platform, you're an artist, and you need to show your craft, let people know you, build your brand. Okay, at what point do I say mimi nimechoka na kubuild brand yangu for free, now I need to be paid for my services? Because we have that tendency of I'm giving you a platform. Yes.
Okay, so I think it's a balance, right? Creative services si kama let me use my tomato example again. Creative services si kama tomato. Nobody, you see, like nikiwa nataka kupika mchuzi, tasema kupika mchuzi wangu I need a tomato, so I'll go out to look for a tomato.
Yes.
So for a person who's selling, they just need to have nice tomatoes. In fact, uzipanguse. Hiyo ndo difference on pale na how you speak. But creative services most times, until like the musician, I've never heard his song. So I'm not looking for, until mmenitajia hapa, I didn't know him. I would never, like I would not have gone out to look for his song. I would, unless nisikie nyimbo yake ama sasa mnitajie, then niseme, haya. And then immediately first I'll look for him online. So he has to actually have done something for you to experience and decide, I like it.
And I can pay for it.
I can pay for it. Or maybe first, let me follow this guy. Nimuone, then I decide, I like his music, nini. Akifanya concert, then I say, okay, I can actually pay because I like that guy. Ndo nilipe. So no, it's always, for creative services, it's a balance. You have
How do we get to that point where my services can be paid for?
Yes. So what, because it's a real issue. It's a real issue. Most programs, even the capacity building programs, hata Sanaa kama Biashara, it's something that we're trying to see what can you do. So what you can do, at least at the moment, our priority is, what do you have in your hands? I think now pikipiki ziliacha kuwa the biggest selling things. Sai ni simu. You can get a phone. Most people at a wapi, there's always somebody, like one smartphone to every 2 people. So you have a phone. You'll see like all these Kenyan artists who are now, growing, they're big.
Yes.
Most of them have very active online digital channels. They shoot their own content, they post. What you do, one, what I said about registration. So again, because that's what I preach, create, copyright it so that you have it. You have a list there, umeandika, I have registered all of these things. Then you need to put it on your own channels first, because you need to build a fan base. But showing up for things physically, if people are telling you come for free, it can be very costly.
Yes.
Also, you can't maybe organize your own event. It's also very costly. And also, you don't know who will come because you don't yet have a fan base. So use what you have. Create things. Figure out like what version can you put online, which you can just shoot with your own camera or at least a phone that you have access to. And then the channel, sasa, the channel niyako, the online channel, at least it's yours. So all that value, don't look at it as something that is getting lost. It's sitting on your channel. Pick also the channels that they keep your content, like kama sasa YouTube. On YouTube, if you reach, if you reach monetization levels, the money will come to you.
That's
YouTube
true.
will pay you for that. So again, how you think about which platforms, of course it matches to your to the kind of content that you create, but think about now the platforms. Try and have like a digital thing so that all these efforts, hata kama uko nyumbani wafanya nini, it's all sitting on your channel. You can keep pushing that on your phone, ujitengeze poster nini. Then hizi platforms are free is where you go. So initially people actually might not pay you, by the way, no matter what you do, they might not. But if you have an active channel, every time you show up, unasimama hapo na unaambia watu niko na channel, jamaa ni follow channel yangu. Na wakija wataona, he has 20 things. So uta watch, now I can decide, okay, by the 5th thing, I decide, I like this guy.
Yeah.
Sasa pole, maybe now you're on your 6th appearance somewhere, and people are actually singing your songs. Sasa hapo unaweza decide, ata organizers wameona niko na fan base. Next time wakikuita waambia, sasa nalipisha.
Good.
But you see at that point now you have a bit of clout.
Yes.
You were there, guys were actually singing your songs.
Yeah.
Wakikuangalia online wanaona, akona content, akona followers, etc. So Nile, I just think we need to be smart about how you do those free things, so that you look at it now. When I show up there, it's not even platform.
Yeah.
It's BD. You are there now to get people to see what you have already done, like to look at you through your channels and see, kumbe you're capable.
Yeah.
I think that's probably how anyway, that's what now we are trying to shift to as Sanaa kama Biashara. It's like, what do you have there? Build and then now use these platforms to now do business. Like it should turn into BD. Uko hapo hata na nani ukishuka mtu akikwambia, mtu akisema mimi ni producer, now you're having a conversation. You have a portfolio.
Yeah.
Naambia mnani fungua channel yangu nenda ukaangalie. The conversations now change. Sisi umekuja tu appearance and then unarudi kwenye crowd uko kama tu somebody who doesn't have something to give or something to show.
Oh, thank you so much, Felicia. You need to come back because I know we've not touched on intellectual property so much. You've spoken about copyright issues. We're creating a space where the youth can learn how to package themselves. And, we're in a space where employment can't be it completely. If we can create on the side and make money while at it, then the better.
Yes.
Where can people find you? Because I know that people listen and say, "Hey, services za Felicia." How can they find you?
Our office is at Ambalal building, second floor, North Tower. So that's the side facing steamer, KPLC. So that's where we are, on second floor. You'll find us there. Also, I can give you the number to reach me on.
Is there a social media page?
Yes. So MMS, we are on all platforms. we have a website, mmsadvocates.co.ke.
Yes.
We're on LinkedIn, we are on Instagram, we are on TikTok, and all of them actually. Sanaa kama Biashara, we also have a website, sanaakamabiashara.com. We also have a YouTube channel. On the YouTube channel, we have like 2 sub-channels. One is like snippets of training, so useful information for creatives.
Yes.
And then the other one, we showcase our street events because we have street ESO platforms.
Yes.
We have street events, but we're trying to be a bit more clever, like to use them for what I just said, like to now use them as more proper BD for the creatives. Yeah. So we're on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and also you can find us physically hapo Ambalal as well.
Thank you so much, Felicia.